Dutch, we have had a wonderful, beautiful dance with much more laughter than tears. Lots of joy, adventure, and just being with each other. You know, Dutch loved people. He loved Oakmont and this community. And he especially loved his children and his grandchildren. And now they will tell you some things they loved about you, Pop-Up.
I'm Shelby. I am Pop-Up's first grandchild, and I have so many wonderful memories of Pop-Up. When I look back and think of him, I will think of things like his amazing fist-slamming laugh when he would be at the dinner table. Usually that was over hours and hours of political debates where there was lots of Chardonnay being drank at the table. I will remember lots of trips that we went on to Tahoe and Phoenix for Christmas and Easter, all of the holidays we spent with them. I'll remember lots of trips in their motorhome that they took us on, whether it was camping. Last summer, Pop-Up and Banna drove their motorhome all the way up to Seattle just to visit me for the whole entire weekend. I have lots of wonderful, wonderful memories. What I will really remember the most, though, about Pop-Up is how incredibly curious he was. He was the most curious person I think I've ever met. He was so curious about technology, how it was changing our lives. I had so many conversations with him about the future of our world with technology. He used to tell me he was so sad that he couldn't be here in 50 years to see, self-driving cars on the road. And I know someday when I'm sitting in a self-driving car, he'll be right there with me. And he was also so curious about our family and our history and genealogy, and he did so much research. And I'm so fortunate that he did all of that and that he was able to connect so many people in our family, and that legacy will live on forever. Pop-Up, I will miss you so much, and I'm so grateful that I got to have you in my life for 26 wonderful years. Thank you for everything, and we will carry your legacy on for many years to come. Love you.
Hi, I'm Danny Licklider. I'm Dutch and Lois's granddaughter. And when I was little, I remember my Pop-Up always would teach me how to do the "We Are Penn State" chant. And one of my favorite memories is when I was in high school and I had just decided where I was going to college, but I hadn't told any of my family. And we were having like a big family party, and everyone went around the table putting bets on where I was going. And of course, Pop-Up said Penn State with his fingers crossed. And then I finally announced that I was going to Penn State, and Pop-Up threw down his wallet and said, "You can have it all." And he was so excited that I had chosen to go to the same school as him. And I feel so lucky that we had this Penn State bond together. In many ways, I would say that Pop-Up was my biggest fan. He was so supportive and always there for his entire family, no matter what. And so we're definitely going to miss him, but we have so many wonderful memories that we're going to cherish and that we'll have for the rest of our lives with Pop-Up and Banna and the rest of the family. So I feel very grateful for that.
Hi, I'm Gabe, grandson of Pop-Up and Banna, and I think the one thing that Pop-Up's passing has really been able to shed light on is the fact that we're only given a certain amount of time on this earth in human form, and I feel like Pop-Up acknowledged that and confronted it head on and spent the proud 81 years of his life having a good time and making friends and doing all the things that you'd want to do in a lifetime. And I feel like that's just beautiful, and we just need to follow in his footsteps, I guess, is a good way to put it. 'Cause that's just the best way to live, you know? Just do what you want, and that's what Pop-Up did. And I feel like being able to go back and gather all the friends and look at all the photos and think of all the memories really just shines a light on how fantastic his life was, and how inspiring that is to me and to everyone else to live a life like that.
Hey, my name is Miles. I am the grandson of Pop-Up and Banna. One story that I sort of have and a thank you is Pop-Up bought me my first video camera when I was turning 10, I believe, at one of our mass birthday celebrations, because 4 of us have birthdays in February, including Pop-Up, myself, my dad, and Steve. So he got me this camera, and I think that may have nudged my life in a slightly different direction than it would have been going. I had no real hobbies up to that point, and then started making videos. So that was one thing that the two of us shared, was this sort of love for videos and creating things like that. So I really am gonna miss him a lot. Gonna miss the enthusiasm and being able to sort of connect to these things, tell him stories of jobs I've done, or him telling me of projects he's working on. But Pop-Up, I love you, and I'm really gonna miss you. And thank you for everything and for being such a strong influence in all of our lives and helping us out through difficult times. So you'll be missed.
So now I guess it's my turn. Well, Lois and I have really enjoyed our 8 years living here in Oakmont Village. We keep quite busy. My hobby has been producing videos, and I've produced many of them for the community. Last year, probably the biggest thing that happened for me was that I turned 80 years old. Now that's a huge milestone in a person's life. For one thing, it means that the bulk of your life is behind you. Each passing day is one less that you have on your calendar. And so the important thing is to try to enjoy the day, keep a positive attitude, and try to do something constructive. And so if I have any advice to pass on to my grandchildren, it would be this: do the best you can with what you have, where you are. I want to thank each of them for agreeing to do this little video. It's been fun, and I hope you find it rewarding.